everybody. Another episode of Ask Ron. So I hope you got a lot of questions today. And beside me is Adel K.I.D. Try to spell that one.
Well, it's on the screen for him here, so.
I guess so. All right. So he is my acquisitionist and also my partner on all kinds of the deals. In other words, he's the one that does all the work. And he's trying to tell me only doing 10 hours worth a week. I don't buy that, but maybe I do. Maybe I should, because everything's automated today.
I think it's more or less.
All right, so we got questions. John, you got the questions today?
I got some questions.
Fire away, man.
First question is from Tony and Angie in Ohio.
Yeah.
It says, thanks for your answers last week and all of the many things Global Publishing is doing to serve us better, more trading, group mentoring, etc. This week, I want to specifically focus on the virtual assistants. I know that they are looking at making changes in the services they provide. Any updates on that or future services they are considering?
Yeah, pretty soon we're going to be able to take your list and they will cold call it for you. And also they will pull a list and mail it for you, if of course, if you want to. So we're constantly trying to add. And I think we got a texting system coming up too, don't we, John? We do? Adam, you know?
I believe so.
Yeah. We're adding texting to the batch.
Yeah.
So we just did a demonstration on Dreams Pro AI, and watch out for that. That'll be coming shortly. With Adel and Jenna, who works at Dreams Pro AI. So we got a lot of things working, and we got a summit at the last week of March, free online. And go on our site and look there, ronlegrand.com/summit, and it's loaded with really quality people teaching various aspects of what they do within the real estate stream, and a couple that are outside of it. In fact, we got an economist that we're going to interview as well. He's going to tell us what's coming in the future. His guess is as good as mine, but he's more trained on that than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that free summit is coming up on March 26th through 28th. It is a virtual event. You can sign up for free at ronlegrand.com/summit.
Yeah. And if
All right.
you guys have been waiting around to get to the Quick Start School, we got one next month. This month, sorry.
Yeah.
This month, and then I think April's a virtual one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this month is March 18th through 21st here in Jacksonville.
Okay.
And then let's see if I can get to next month. Next month is the virtual Quick Start, April 22nd through 25th.
Good.
All right, our next question is from Robert from Oregon. Hello, Ron. Do you have any ideas of how to start an RL alumni group, Ron Legrand alumni group? I am baffled and can use some help on this matter. Any suggestions would be helpful.
Well, I suggest you call Steve Love in LA, and frankly, I've started several of those groups, and I helped Steve start his group. But I know a lady who actually has a mastering session every year with group leaders. But you need a group to be in that group. So I did an interview with somebody on that. I can't remember even what the gist of it was, but I'd call Steve Love because he's probably been at it 20 years in LA. I wished I had his number right now, but I don't.
And also, if you're a member of our Gold Club, that's where a lot of Ron's students get together and are able to communicate. They've got an active community there, people asking questions. And this is where we get our questions for Ron every week for this Ask Ron. So make sure you check out Gold Club and the forums there. All right, our next question is Jacob from Ohio. You've mentioned that low equity properties are good to target for pretty house terms deals. Are there other lists you'd recommend for terms deals?
I just sat through a presentation of Dreams Pro. Of course, that subject came up. So, yeah, we like low equity houses. I mean, I do. And that means they're in excellent condition and the seller hadn't been in them more than a couple of years max. and we can take over a debt, and I'll put up a down payment because they only got a small equity in it. And in that light, he and I have done 5 of those in the last 2 weeks,
Yep.
contracts on them, 5 of them. They called and begged him to come by their house. I'm telling you, they begged him to come by the house because something was going on in their life and they're in trouble. Problem was the payments were about as high as the market would bear on most of them because they got the high interest loans, you know. But just mail it to them. It's just mail a postcard. If you're on Dreams Pro AI, which we just covered, watch for that presentation coming up probably the next week or so, I'd guess. I don't know. But we interviewed him or her from the company, and Adel's sitting here right beside me. And she basically went through the whole site, didn't she?
Yep, she did.
And he does constant trainings on it as well. And we got, in fact, AI is, Dreams Pro probably mixed in with every conversation, every call that we do for you, and we beefed those up as well. We got several weeks calls per week pertaining to different things. He does one for mentoring students on Thursday, and every one of them is going to have some part of Dreams Pro presented. So you guys can learn how to use it and then let the VAs take it over for you because they pretty much do everything that needs to be done on that, including the mailing. So a lot more coming on that.
Okay, so the next question is still from Jacob. You say that tenant buyers usually have more money than they say they have for the down payment and the monthly payment. How do you get them to reveal that they have more than what they say? What do you tell them?
Very simple. All right, John, you're my seller. You're there, you're my seller.
Okay.
All right. Now your job is not to make life miserable for me. It's actually right in my script. It starts with what's the least you can take down, what's the most you can pay per month, and usually we buy nothing down. Okay, that script works so unbelievably. Now the problem with these that we got here in the last couple of weeks, we are not buying most of them because there's almost no equity. Payment is reasonable but not low like I'd like. They are in excellent shape, and every one of the owners would finance with nothing down and happy to do it because they had something in their life they had to go fix, and they they knew they couldn't hold on to it. Not one of these owners was in the house more than 2 years. That's why we want to. They're easy to buy because they don't care about the money. They ain't got much left. They don't have enough to pay a realtor. Now, if what I just said appeals to you, you might buy a home like that for yourself. All you got to do is to target the area that you want to be in with marketing, and you're going to get a house in there, close on it, and move in. You don't have to go to the bank and get a loan. Nobody's going to pull your credit report. So people don't understand that. Of course, they got to be trained before they're going to be able to even do it. So anybody can do these deals with a little training, and now our VAs are helping you with this site. Also the site that you get with the $297 a month plan to buy and sell houses. So we got you covered here. All you got to do is plug and play and quit chasing shiny objects and get in real estate for real. Because I don't know what we could have made on those 5 houses, but and by the way, that's only going to get better or worse, depending on how you want to look at it. Because a lot of people that just finance their house find out after they get in it that they really can't afford it. Or let's see, just the other day I talked to one that was moving, and I had it listed, and there wasn't even enough money to pay the real estate agent. They'd have to bring a check to closing to buy the house. That's not how we buy them. And there's a ton of them out there. And they're going to come quick when you start letting them know that you'll buy it, even with no equity in it. Anyway, that's enough on that subject.
Yeah, and I'll say that I've gotten more calls in this year from people who've had their houses listed than I probably did all of last year, honestly. And I think because the combination of the entry, now that people, if they have a life event, like they had to move or whatever, the job relocation, and their house is not selling. Like houses are not selling on the market right now. So there's going to be opportunities there, not only for the low equity, but just that expired list in general, I think is going to be a very hot list going for this year, honestly, because just again, houses aren't selling and people paid too much 2 years ago and can't afford the payment. So that combination, both.
And the interest rate was high.
Yeah.
Let me think. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought, which I do that more often than I like. Go ahead, John.
Okay, next question is Steven from New York. Before I discovered your world, I purchased a property with a traditional lender. I would like to sell it to a tenant buyer. The terms would be down payment of $20,000, $1,700 a month. So my question is, can I offer these terms for a set amount of years? The house still has a mortgage on it, so the buyer can't refinance and buy me out. So in this case, would it have to be the bank for the full 30 years?
What's his first name?
Steven.
Stephen, I don't even know where you got 30 years. Oh, I guess that must be the life of the underlying mortgage. Okay. You can lease option that property to a tenant buyer, but that loan's going to stay in your name the whole time. And if it were me, I'd rather cash out of it and be done with it because of that. But there's nobody can stop you from putting lease option tenant buyer in there. You don't need your bank's permission. You don't need anybody's permission except the party that's going to give you the money to move into it. So, but you didn't tell me about how much equity you had in it, but if you don't have enough in it to even list it on the open market without a realtor sell it, then you got no choice but to lease option it. As far as your 30 years go, no. You don't give anybody 30 years when you're putting a tenant buyer in there. I only give them 2. And in your case, you're going to want them to buy at the end of 2. So you would take a tenant buyer that wasn't so ugly. It didn't have terrible credit. Maybe had some other problem that would be easy to fix in the next 2 years. And your whole goal would be to cash out. So your end results is going to be based on your needs to cash out or not. When we take over debt with no qualifying, that's not on our credit report, then the longer they're in the house, the better. But when you got an underlying loan that you're guaranteeing, the shorter deal you want just to get rid of that loan. Then from now on, start learning how to buy them without using your credit, with non-recourse loans. Every time I buy a terms house, I buy it on a wrap mortgage or a wrap deed of trust, wherever you live. So I collect the payment and make a payment to the underlying seller and keep the difference. There's nowhere on my credit report where it shows I own any houses. And I suggest you do that as well. I don't know if you've been to my boot camp or not, but if you haven't, you might want to consider it. My Quick Start School, we do one a month somewhere. In fact, we're doing one here in Jacksonville a couple of weeks and another one in April. In fact, we're going to do one in LA sometime this year, I think in September.
Yep.
And then one in New Jersey.
Okay, that was our last question for today.
All right. Okay, guys, this is the beginning of the year, but it's sure going fast. Maybe it's time for you to decide whether you're going to be in or out this year. By the way, the virtual is in April. Now you don't have to leave your home, but I want to make a point. A live one's 10 times better. 10 times better. Just ask anybody who's been to the live one. So get one of those on your list. You can find the schedule at ronlegrand.com and just make a commitment to get to it. You bring your spouse, and I promise you it's going to change your whole thinking about real estate forever. You got to get trained how to do the business. And trying to do it without getting trained is going to lead to mistakes, big mistakes. So check it out. Let's see, we're in March right now. Yep, you got plenty of time to make a lot of money before the end of the year. He and I just flipped 5 wholesale houses in a 2-month period, in and out, all of them, and netted $147,000 on them. So it didn't require credit, didn't require any bank statement, didn't require any proof of funds, didn't require any money. Well, $10 a house for a deposit, I guess. So anybody could do that. Anybody could do that. So sign up right now for our summit coming up at the end of the month in the last week of March. Go online and check it out. It's free. Free. So if you're not happy with it, we'll give you 3 times your money back. You think they're going to catch that?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see you next week. Have a good week.